Good Saturday morning, everybody. Glad to have you here. And if you'd like to follow along, we will be back in the 16th chapter of Proverbs today. And 16:16, in the 16th chapter and the 16th verse. And what we have here is just, again, a general call for wisdom instead of specific examples of wisdom and the danger of ignoring wisdom in certain circumstances that have been described. He just talks about wisdom in general and the benefit of pursuing and wisdom and living according to that wisdom. And so in verse 16, we see, he says this: how much better is it to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding rather to be chosen than silver. This is really a good verse for our world today, because gold and silver and the pursuit of gold and silver are many people's standard for success. How much money do you have? How much stuff have you accumulated? Is typically the standard for measuring a person's success. It's been probably close to 50 years ago now that the old country singer Jerry Reed had a song, and in it, and I don't remember exactly the wording of it, but he said, it's a shame that we determine the success of a man by the type of car he drives. And we're still in that world, more in that world, and that's what many people pursue. But here Solomon reminds us, again, as he has numerous times, that more important than gold and silver or anything else a man goes after. And again, notice he doesn't say that gold and silver are wrong or gold and silver are bad. But what he does say is that wisdom is better. There's nothing wrong. I'm not telling you to get rid of all your money. If you decide to, let me know and I'll give you my address. But that's not what he's saying at all. He doesn't say there's anything wrong with gold or silver. But what he does say is how much better is it to get wisdom and understanding. There are some really wealthy people who, quite frankly, are not very wise in earthly wisdom or godly wisdom. But with the right, with wisdom, then we can obtain many of those other things that we were actually looking for in the gold and the silver. And so he's reminding us of the importance of pursuing godly wisdom. And then in verse 17 he says, the highway of the upright is to depart from evil. He that keepeth his way preserveth his soul. Again, he describes here wisdom as a highway that we travel, that we should follow that highway, to stay on that highway rather than to veer off into the wisdom of this world, to the popular things of our society, to wickedness, but that the righteous man, the wise man, he's going to get on a path, he's going to build a path, keep a path that avoids sin. I think about if you use a a cell phone, and it has a map program on it. Usually when you put in your desired destination, it'll give you an option in many times. Do you want to avoid highways, or do you want to avoid traffic, or gives you options in how what kind of route you choose. Solomon's saying we should choose a route that helps us avoid as much evil and sin as possible. And for some, that's very important. Some people are very susceptible if they lower themselves to the standards of those they are around. And so Solomon says, you know your life, you know your weaknesses, and if you are wise, you will plot a course that avoids those snares, those traps that are so often in our path. Good words for us today. Just to remind us once again of the value of wisdom over the things of this world, and that we plot our course. We lay out our path every day to help us to avoid the traps, the snares of Satan. Hope you think about that today. Hope it helps you as you travel your highway, avoiding as much of the sinful places as possible. Have a great day. We'll see you here Monday morning.